one of the reasons for this event is to help Oro attend and be part of a panel at an event called Season of Cambodia. That'll be around Paris later this month. So we're raising funds so he can go and be on a panel with like some of the original artists and some other DJs, right? Yeah. So your attendance helps towards that, as well as he's selling some CDs and some things out in the lobby afterwards. So yeah. Before we do a Q&A, I thought I should talk about what our relationship is and kind of who we are a little more. For my part, I got really interested in this music about 10 years ago when I first started hearing it. I've been interested in music and working in music in various ways most of my life. And I've had tons of favorite music, just like everyone, but when I heard this stuff, I just thought, like, immediately it was some of my favorite stuff, and the more I heard it, the more I liked it. So after a while, I started to just want to see more of it, and it was, I started to learn more about it, realized it was really rare, and there were a lot of complications in finding it and like making it available. And I was interested in like helping that idea, but I felt like it wasn't really my place because I don't know anything, but I'm just some guy that likes it. But more years went on, and there was very little activity in like doing that. And then finally, I found some of Oro's videos and stuff like that online, and like songs that he had found and put on YouTube and things like that. And, like all those kind of things kind of inspired me to see what I could do also to like help that music like be preserved and reach a wider audience, and like not just be on YouTube either. So we've been talking about working together and find ways to restore the music and maybe reissue it, and so that's part of our connection. Like we kind of reach out to each other, and we've been talking and working through that. But I'll let you talk about kind of where you come from.
Thank you. Yeah, before we have a Q&A, I'd like to introduce the Cambodian Vintage Music Archive project. Nate and I, we knew each other on YouTube actually. I started to post some original song because I see a lot of people have misrepresented the song on YouTube, so they put remake version, so it make a lot of confusion. So I started to have an idea to put on the original on YouTube so people can have access to the originality. And Nate and I kind of like talk to each other, and Nate and I started to learn about music. I tell him like, look Nate, I know you've been collecting a lot of music and you put out some songs, but that song had been remastered and they put a go on it, so the song is not cool. It explained him, and then Nate and I started to learn about like the originality. And then Nate suddenly came to Cambodia in 2010, and he'd been traveling through provinces in Cambodia, and he went to Battambang, which people say Battambang, but I would say Battambang, Battambang. Anyway, he found one record store that had a lot of records, over 100 records. So he managed to get a few copies, so he got like 10. And he went back to Phnom Penh. He told me, Oudom, you know what? Their records existed, so we should do something together. And then I started to think about why don't we just start a project like searching for vinyl? Why not? And then he left to Lo, and I and my another co-founder, which is Maya J, is my wife, and we went together to Battambang, and we were talking to the person that was telling me, and I found him, and I managed to digitize his record. He had like around 200 records. So for the first time I went there, I got like digitized over 100 records from him already. He allowed me to have him digitize, because explaining if you keep this improperly, then it's gonna destroy the quality, and also something wrong happened to it, like your decomposition or irritation, like deteriorated, like deterioration. Yeah, deterioration. Sorry, I know this is hard for me to speak about. And then he let me transfer like lots of vinyl in the good quality, so I still have them, the file with me in the recording. So over 8 years, Nate and I have been working together hands in hand. We pool our resources, money and everything. And Nate built a network in the US, I built a network in Cambodia. So right now we together have been working on digitizations, like we got probably 1,000 records we found, that existed like in Canada, Australia, France, US, everywhere we go. I went from place to place, from village to village to look for records, and I got a little bit frustrated because I got news from people say, hey, I know one person may have that record. So for me, I just went there to search for them, and then I went to the village in Kampong, and then I found, it took me 3 days just to look for the person, which I was almost like, I have no hope anymore. But then I met him, and then he just donated like his vinyl records, like, I think it was 16 records. Because I just said I just want to transfer, but he said he's going to die, so he would not keep with him, and he donated to me. And I was like, I was crying, and I just knelt down on my knee and respect him, like he's so touchy, like how he wanted me to say the music. And I think continue working with Nate throughout the years, just collecting, preserving, sharing. And to also we put our soundtrack in that film, Don't Think I Have Forgotten. So some other film production have contacted us, just want to get a license and put some songs in their films. And there's more films coming, soon. I don't know when, maybe later. At least in Cambodia, we've been talking about that a few years. So I've been talking with Chris about his project, but I have not heard that when exactly he's going to release that film. And I was also then photogenic, like one of the actors in that film. So I'm looking forward to see that film. Yeah, and just to see that collector, he collect only mostly tapes, which is sometimes it's original tapes, like recorded all from master, like reel to reel. But my project mainly focus on vinyl because we lost original materials. I think that the way that I can have a second copy of original master is vinyl. But Nate so collect everything. Like Nate collected old films, tapes, CDs, and vinyls. He spent lots of money. We both like, I don't know how much we spent on that. And you can look up on eBay, you can go to popsilk.com and you just type the synthesis or Khmer music. You can see how much they buy on eBay. Like, some record $1,000. So it is so expensive that when we started to do that project, it became very popular and it's rare. And the more people demand that, they increase the price. So the seller kind of know the values. So it increases double. So I cannot really afford to buy with the people who have money. But I know if someone put $1,000 for the record, they will take care of that, so I let them have it. But what I want is just a file to make sure that the file has been preserved, That's what I really wanted. So I've been traveling around the US. I met some people in Long Beach. I got a few records from them and they let me digitize, so I feel happy. He said, I don't want your record, but please give me the files. Yeah, give me the files. And I've been thinking about reissue. It's been my long struggling, with doing copyright legacy. I've been working with Synthesis Association, especially with Synthesis grandson, to secure his grandpa's copyrights, which we have like over 150 songs copyright right now. And we wanted to do something with it. We don't want to have the copyright and just leave it somewhere. We want to bring that copyright song out. And that's why I was discussing with Chris about possibility that we can do that project together, bringing Synthesis family so that he can get royalty from that. My project I didn't make any money. I spent a lot just to make sure that we have these results availability for you guys to access online. And we have a lot of things going on, but because of the limited budget, we cannot really do so much. Hopefully, I have more time to think about strategize, way I can just make this music much more wider. That's why I just bring that music internationally. I went to Korea, and did the exhibition record display digitally, so that people like in Korea and here and friends going to see what we're doing, and all together like contribute to the preservation project. And if you have any more questions, just feel free to ask me. Okay. Any question?
You talked about like issues with licensing, and I didn't really understand fully what the problems are. Could you go in more depth? Like, what are the kind of challenges you're having with getting rights to the songs?
Okay, thank you. Let's speak this way. Like in the 80s and 90s, some companies, some businessmen, they went to Cambodia and they reproduce music. They just go to the record store or tape store like you see in the film, they just pick all the songs. And then sometimes they just bought all, because I've been interviewing the seller, they said they sold all original to the businessman so he can reproduce that. And they brought it into the US and they remix, they add new keyboard and new drum, they destroy the originality and they sell, and for them and their own pocket money. And they like pay respect or pay royalty to the family, because some of family of Rosetta here, some artists still alive, but they overlook them, and there's no one control the copyright. Meaning like anyone can just gather music and do whatever, like add music, add thing, destroy thing, and reproduce whatever they want to do. No one can do anything. Especially when they do in the US, they said it's copyright by US. What they say on CD. So government in Cambodia don't have a control over that, products. And my project with Synthesis Family is to secure copyright, meaning like we don't want people to do something like that. We don't want them just to go to Cambodia because of the US or France and then we do issue and we destroy it. So we do not have a lot of evidence, because when you claim the copyright to the government, we have to have like 3 by 3, like you have to be a composer, songwriter, and singer. So Synthesis is a composer, a songwriter. He compose music and write music, and he sing by himself. So for now, they very strict. Before they said two cert is fine, but right now it has to be 3 cert by cert. So we have to collect like record sleeve that has stated that this song is written and composed by Synthesis. So that we put that information on the list, and we compile like things like that all the way down, how many songs we found, and we submit it to the government. The the Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of Culture will be responsible to investigate, about that. And the copyright law had passed around 2014. 2014 they passed but it's not really implemented yet. And that's why we have been able to collect evidence around 150 songs that stated this song composed by Synthesis, and written by him. Yeah. But he has so much more. We believe he has like thousands of songs that should be copyrighted to him. But because we lost the material, like we don't have any songbooks. We have songs, but a lot of his songs that he wrote, a lot of songs in like throughout 15 years he wrote thousands of songs. But that paper was gone. We can't find that. What we can find only on the record, when you look at the record, they have back sleeve and front sleeve. So at the back sleeve, they write the lyrics of the song, and they say who is composed that song. So that's why we scan that as evidence attached with the list of the song that we claim for copyright. And the government review, and then after they let like I think they let some time for people who claim that too. If no one claimed that, then that song belongs to Synthesis family.
I was just going to add that as far as copyright, like certainly either one of us like potentially could just like take music and do something with it, and are we necessarily going to face a lot of issues with it? Maybe not, but I think both of our interests is really strongly driven by like the idea of this music is that rare because it was like attacked and they attempted to destroy it, and then for us it's kind of about reparations and healing and stuff like that. So, you know, in that spirit, like we want to do right by the people that should represent that music and benefit from it being restored, you know, meeting the families and returning those copyrights to the family. So while, you know, there are easier paths, they're just not really in the spirit of what we're trying to do. So we're trying to do the thorny copyright navigation, and you've done a lot to help the family on that respect. So, yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for everything that you've done. I'm first generation Vietnamese, and listening to how music is so powerful, I know within my own family, we don't talk about the war, we talk about food and music. Paris by Night is poppin', like, you know. But I would love to hear how you feel music, Cambodian archives is affecting contemporary Cambodian music today. Do you feel like there's a relationship between the music that's being made now?
Thank you. That's a type of question that I also question myself. I think that how artists today try to imitate, you know, what happened in the past, or they try to create their own. But I think most of the contemporary artists, they really inspired by the song in the 60s and 70s. But I have talked to one artist, they say that like in the 60s and 70s, this is what he produced, he written a lot of songs already. It's like every aspect of life. Love song, broken heart, happy family, go to the province, go swim, go climb on the tree, chasing the monkey, everything. Everything. So they say that I don't know what to write anymore because it's all somehow been written. You know? But some of the artists, they really use the old song just to start their career. At the beginning, they use old song because people, they try to get attention from people. Because they know old song is so powerful. Like when you talk about something, someone, even a little kid, they can just sing some songs already, you know. So they just, it really affect, like impact to the new generation. So they started to learn, some artists, they try to create, you know, create their own music, but it's not the same as in the 60s, because in the 60s we have artist association, they work together hand in hand, like one song, for example, written by Santissimo, he's not the one he has written, he practice around his peer to review, like to contribute or any changes, even though they compose it, they had a rehearsal. So they had like music hall professors. They come to adjust, you know, change the music, and they pick, you know, the instrument. They kind of arrange the music. But right now it's not the same.